Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Cozy Chat. Today's episode is not really a slow English cozy chat because I decided to do it at my native speed. This is a great practice to see how much you can really understand the native speaking on normal speed. Now, this is kind of a special occasion episode because we are celebrating English Cozy Chat's 1 year anniversary. It was 1 year ago that I started posting videos, and it has been a really amazing experience so far. I wanted to tell you all really the reason why I started this channel and why I believe that this method can be so effective for learning a language. Whenever I started learning Catalan, which is the local language of Spain in the region where I live, I wanted to start learning it in a more fun way than I learned Spanish. Whenever I learned Spanish, I really focused a lot on the grammar and memorizing vocabulary and everything like that. And to be honest, it really took me a long time to learn Spanish. And so whenever I started learning Catalan, I kind of started doing it in the same way that I learned Spanish. And I decided that I just didn't want to do it that way because I didn't really enjoy it that much. So I started looking for a podcast that was in Catalan that I could listen to. And I found a lot of podcasts which were like learn Catalan and were more of lessons. And then I came across one podcast which was just of a girl talking about everyday things. The name of the podcast is Couch Polyglot. She also has a YouTube channel if you want to check her out. She is a polyglot. So she speaks I think she speaks like 8 languages or something like that. So I started listening to this podcast every single day whenever I drove to work. And it was something that I really started looking forward to so much. Every single day, I knew that in the car going to work, I was going to listen to this podcast. And I really became so interested in this girl, her life, and all of the things that she did. And she was doing the same thing that I do, the same kind of videos. I like to talk about things that I've been doing, things that I like. And it got to be where I would listen to this podcast and I kind of forgot that I was listening to it in Catalan because I got used to the way that she was speaking. She spoke in a very, not too slow, but slow enough for me to understand. And she used easy vocabulary and everything like that. And this just really helped me to gain confidence and to like the language and to associate learning Catalan with this podcast that I really liked. And I found that was not the only thing that I did to learn Catalan, but that was a big part of it that really helped me to become motivated to also do some other studying on my own, to also practice conversation with people, and to really kind of get out of my comfort zone. Whenever I would listen to that podcast in the morning, I swear I really felt like I had a little bit more confidence later in the day to speak Catalan and to try and to do something else related to Catalan. So one day I was just thinking about it and I was like, why don't I just start a YouTube channel and I do the same thing, but in English? So that's what I did. So I decided just to start. I think I decided to start my channel on a Tuesday and I started the channel on a Wednesday. I just filmed my first episode and put it out there. So a reason to me that this channel is so important and actually means a lot to me emotionally, I guess you would say, is that I truly believe in it. I truly believe in this method of listening to a language and incorporating it into your everyday life and to having more fun with it and how that can really, really help you to learn a language and to get better. So it makes me really so happy to hear from you guys when you say that you're listening to my podcast often or watching my videos often and that you're really enjoying it and that it's helping you to learn English. This means so much to me because I know how much the other podcast that I was listening to meant to me and how much that really helped me on my English learning journey. Because I know that there are a lot of channels out there which are English lessons. And don't get me wrong, learning the grammar is important. And I think it's good to use this kind of content where you're listening or watching videos or watching shows or just finding something that you like. And then also studying a little bit of grammar as well. Because if you only study grammar and don't actually hear natives use it, it doesn't really soak into your brain, at least not for me. For me, I really have to hear natives speak a lot, and that is how it clicks. There are so many different grammar structures in Spanish, for example, that I would be learning, and I was sitting in the classroom and I could not understand them. It was impossible for me to understand how and when to use certain verb forms, for example. And then after listening to people speak Spanish a lot, it just started clicking. And then I just started speaking that way because I knew that is how it should be spoken. And I think this is something that is not talked about as much these days. Everyone thinks that if you're an adult, you have to sit down and study a language, put the pencil to the paper and open a grammar and vocabulary book and just study, study, study. Whereas really, as humans, we are designed to absorb language in a different way. And if you think about it also with kids, I see this also with my kids. My kids speak English and German at home, and whenever they go to school, they speak in Catalan. And they have never learned any grammar. They just start speaking from what they hear. And we can't think that we are so different than kids. Yes, kids do absorb things quickly, but do they absorb things in such a different way than we do? In the end, we are the same species. We are the same beings, right? So there has to be something said for just being able to listen and absorb a language and for that to help your mind to understand it. But like I said, I do think it is valuable and important to study grammar as well, because whenever you study it a little bit and then you pair that with lots of listening and lots of watching videos or things like that, you start to put the two together. And it always feels really good when you studied something and then you hear someone else say it. And then you're like, oh, that's how it should be used. And that is why I created my study sheets. If you are a member of my channel, you are getting these for every episode. My study sheets include a full transcript along with a vocabulary section that has the definitions and sample sentences, and also a grammar section that explains some grammar structure that I used during that episode. And there are also exercises in vocabulary and grammar. So I made those study sheets because I thought it's a good, calm, relaxed way to just do a little bit of studying with the episode. And it's not anything big and hardcore, and you don't have a big book like this. It's just a study sheet. And so you can use it along with the episode that you watched. And I think it's a good way to put the two things together. So back to it being English Cozy Chat's birthday. I guess I should buy a cake or something, shouldn't I? I should actually really celebrate, buy a cake and have candles and blow it out. What do you think? And also let me know, how do you like this way of learning a language? How are you able to incorporate it into your life? And please give me any other suggestions that you have for my channel. I love to hear all of them, and I take all of them into account. I have a little notebook where I write everything, and I really hope to just grow this channel and reach more people and provide good content for you guys to help you along your English learning journey. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I cannot wait to see you in the next episode. Bye.